Hello and welcome back. I'm Lincoln, and today is the 21st day of October, which means our sculpt for the day was Doorknocker. And what I did was take the skull from day 5 and make a knocker out of it using the lower jaw, which I had to make a lower jaw for this video. Alright, hey, I'm going to put up the rest of the prompt list now. For anybody just joining us, you'll see that I've divided my sculpting challenge into weeks, and you can take your previous week's sculpts and put them all together to create a scene at the end. The next video in this series is going to have this Doorknocker plus all the previous week's sculpts put together. I'm going to go over a bunch of the lighting techniques I used. If you guys have not downloaded version 1.66, go to Nomad Sculpt and get it now. It's ready to go so you guys can follow along with everything I do now. Hey, with all that said, let's grab your iPad or your other device. Let's go grab your skull from day 5 and let's go make a Doorknocker. Alright, first thing we're going to do is get rid of this. And I'm going to go over to the folder icon, add the scene, and what do we got here? I want to put the skull in. I'm going to make the Doorknocker out of the skull. There it is. Add that to the scene. Alright, now if you guys have updated to 1.66, it's out now, so you guys should go grab it. If you have, then you're going to have this scene in here. This won't be quite the same yet because I don't think it will add it to that. You'd have to change these for the eyes if you did this similar to mine. But once you do, you can grab one if they were to come in separately, rename them all, and all you have to do is grab one and just bring it down and put it in like that. But I'm going to get rid of them because I don't want the eyes on this one, I don't think. So we'll just get rid of these guys. Alright, now this one I'm just going to go ahead and I think we'll just leave it alone for just the moment. Let's put the lower jaw on it. I want to do the lower jaw, and I want to use the lower jaw as the actual Doorknocker. So let's use the tube tool and come to the bottom, grab across. Whoops. I need to actually pick something. So we'll do the path. Just going to drag one straight across and just validate it for now so we can adjust it. Now you notice I have the outline on here. You guys don't have to have that, but it does make it a little bit easier, I think, hopefully for you guys to see what I'm messing with all the time. So if you do want it, you can come up here in the sliders menu. I don't know, I guess it's in this one. And where is it? Oh, outline, right here. There's the outline right there. Alright. So we'll just start shaping this guy. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I just want kind of a cool little face, mouth coming out. I think this will be fun. And I think I'll probably end up fast forwarding through this because this is going to take me a minute to get this set, although that's just about it right there. And give it, let's go and go to the full radiuses so we can add a couple. And we're going to finish shaping this in a minute, but just to kind of give this a little bit more shape. And you know, this one I've been kind of staying with a cartoony style, so I'm not really going to change that. I think I'm going to leave that just as it is. The rest of it we'll take care of with the move tool for the most part. Just going to enlarge this so I got something for the teeth. I'm going to do the teeth like I did on the upper part of the skull probably. So that looks pretty good. And I want to leave it a little off and wonky, but that looks just about right what I want. I'll come up and, oops, subdivide it, validate it, and I'm going to run solo on this one for a second so I can see what I'm doing. Grab the move move tool, and let's just drag it up here somewhere and bring it down a little bit. And just kind of flatten out the jaw. And tube tool's kind of nice for this because you can shape something pretty quick and get a rough shape fast. I'll make it kind of goofy-ish. Squeeze these out a little bit. All right, that's kind of a rough. That looks pretty good. This down a little bit. See what we got going on. All right, and that's fine. It's going to be a Doorknocker, so it doesn't have to be, perfectly perfect for what we want. I think what I'm going to do though is squeeze this in just a little bit. That's perfect. I think that looks pretty good. That's about right. Yeah. All right, now what I'm going to do is first I'm going to fix that pivot point maybe. I'm going to leave it kind of wonky because the jaw's kind of got a little look like that, and that's fine. I want it to be a little cartoony-ish. All right, I'm going to grab the paint tool and let's go down to a black, kind of a shiny black so I can see it. Perfect. Way too big. That's better. All right, so I'm just going to use this just to quickly mark out some teeth. And I want them kind of a little something toony-ish. Not straight, not clean at all. I don't want these bigger. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm going to grab the move tool again because we're going to kind of stretch this jaw up a little bit more. Give me a little more meat to work with. I'll bring these down a little. There we go. All right, so I'm going to solo that again. And we're going to come in and just do kind of a quick cut. Double tap on that and clean it. All right, and then oops, moved that a bunch. Don't want that. Okay, grab the trim tool, lasso, turn off symmetry. And I am anyway. You could completely keep this symmetrical if you want, but I don't want to. Okay. I'll just kind of adjust the view a little bit. Now remember, you want to keep a little bit of a gap up here. If we get it too close, it's going to be really hard for us in a minute when we go to flatten the edges of the teeth out. And for the remeshing, it's going to be kind of ugly. All right, so that looks about right. That's a little sharp, so we can flatten this out right there. Okay, I'm going to grab the flatten tool, and then we're first going to remesh in 500-ish as usual. I'll bring this down and just do a quick flatten. So I'll speed through this because I'm just going to go through and flatten everything and then use the move tool and squeeze all these teeth and kind of move everything around. And I'm just going to leave this all kind of cartoony and angular. So off we go. Okay, I'm back. So now I'm going to trim this out a little bit more and then we'll start shaping the teeth real quick. So let's trim this a little bit more in between. Make those teeth a little bit bigger. And you may have seen one spot in the video there where I had an issue over here on these teeth, or these teeth right here, where they were just too close. And you know, that's the issue with having those a little bit too close together when you're using the move tools. Now this helps. I've got kind of a flat color, and I can see I missed a couple of spots, so let's fix that real quick. Plus first we need to remesh. And just hit these spots real quick where I retrimmed. And I kind of like doing it like this because you know, just kind of marking some rough teeth out. I mean, you could totally bring in tubes and cylinders, whatever you want to do, and make your teeth, but I think it seems a little sterile because they all end up being the same thing. You can also use, like I've done before with my toothbrush right here, and that works good too, but I still kind of like just cutting stuff like this, depending on the look you're going for, you know, obviously, but it does make a difference. I think you get a little more organic shapes and unusual things going on if you don't always use the same things and just clone and pull them all the time and get in, you know, bring it in the same shapes time after time. Okay, give this a little bit, and then I'm going to grab the inflate tool and we'll kind of move some things around a little more. Give these a little bit more something going on here. Jawline. Round the teeth out a little bit, just a little. And I'm going to speed up for this again too. This is going to take me a few minutes to kind of shape all this like I like. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to now just use a move tool, kind of pull these teeth around and give them a little bit. I'm not going to worry about detailing the inside because you're not really going to see it. I think it's going to be so small in the door anyway. That'll probably look pretty good right there. I mean, just thinking about it, it's going to be pretty small. All right, so let's turn the solo off, and I like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and just paint this whole thing real quick. Same thing. We can kind of see what we got going on. I like it. Now this probably needs to shrink that down a little bit. Kind of shrink this in. And maybe bring the jawline in a little. There we go, just like that. Let's go ahead and move it down as it's kind of in the way. And I think what I'm going to do is mask off and pull those up just a little bit because those need to be a little longer. So let's just snap to the right, grab the, where is it? Select mask, and just select this, select that, kind of right in there, and we'll just stretch it up. But you can see here it's real sharp, so we'll tap on here to blur it out so it's not quite so sharp. And I need to have it where it's right here so it'll stretch up better. So I'm going to do here and select mask a little bit more so it'll stretch up nicer, and it'll look nicer when you stretch it. looks about right, probably, maybe just a hair more. Okay, and I'll fix all that squareness here in just a second. All right, so plate, or no, select mask. Let's move this up here. Clear it, and let's just grab the smooth brush, bring it way down, and I'm gonna smooth this off a little. Let's solo this so we can see it. And we'll clean that up a little bit more. Grab the flatten, tap on that so it kind of gets a little away from me. And you have I have it set on right here on your camera view. I've got it in trackball, and it kind of lets you go everything, so it gets a little crazy sometimes. It makes a difference. And most of this is not going to matter too much either, because we're going to squeeze it in, squeeze the whole thing in flatter so it'll look better on the door. But let's give it a little bit of, oops, we're on sub still. And we also need to remesh this in just a second, because this is going to be having some issues because the wire is probably all crazy. So let's remesh it while we're at it. And give this a little more shape while we're in here with this. So hopefully you guys have had something like this before. If you're just jumping in, then you can go over to the skull, which I'm not sure what the date is. I don't remember now. I've slept since then. It's been a few days. But you can go back and catch up on that video. I'll have all the links down below in the description for the video list for this whole sculpting challenge. All right, I think that'll look pretty good. Yeah, that'll be good. I think I'm just gonna kind of move these around just a little bit on the jawline. Just kind of widen them out a little. Bring it down small. Depends on the size of the circles how much you can move it and how much it will allow you to move at a time. Oops, touch something. So, like I said, this isn't going to matter too much because it's going to be shrunk down so much that it won't make much of a difference. But this is going to be all kind of and it does help if you zoom in. It depends, it depends on how your brush is set too. If you have what global setting you have on them. Right now I've got it set, if I zoom in, the size will stay the same. So, kind of a nice setting for that. All right, let's remesh that because I know it's a mess now. I'm gonna grab the smooth brush and just kind of clean up all that rough topology, and I think I'll call that good. All right, next thing we want to do is tweak these just a little bit more on the teeth. Shrink this down a little. Just want to stretch these up, make these a little nastier. And I'm not worried about getting too crazy about detail on this. Like I said, it's going to be so small, you're not going to see it. Plus, see, 3 over the canines. Plus, this is just a sculpting challenge, learning just new tools and techniques, and you guys will have your hands full probably just learning some of the new stuff. If you guys are just now getting the new version of 1.66, It's pretty nice. You guys are gonna like it. There's so many new things, and now I can do a lot of video ideas that I've had already for this new version. So much nicer. There's so many new things on it. It's really nice. All right, so we got that, and I'm gonna give it just a little more attitude. There, that'll be good. We'll call that good, I think. Tap that on. Yeah, I'm gonna just adjust him a little bit. This jaw is a little flat, and I think the central teeth a little big. So I'm gonna adjust that, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. That looks pretty good. I like the way that looks now, and that will be good enough, I think. All right, so I'm gonna click on here. I'm gonna grab the jaw. I wanna be able to rotate that open. So what we do is go to the gizmo, and I've got it set in here, on here, no, where is it? Up here. So I have it set in here to middle stab. That way, if you hit the pivot, you hit the pivot right here, I can click right there, it'll go to that one, and click on the pivot button again, and now I've got it set, whoops, turn off snapping. Now I've got it set where it'll pivot right here, which is what I want. And I think we're gonna move it forward just a little bit and rotate it. Yeah, okay, so that'll look good. But we need it up here. We'll give them a little bit of a overbite or underbite, whichever one that is. Okay, I'm gonna squeeze both of them this way so it'll look better on a door. I'll grab them both, got the gizmo selected, and squeeze it in a little bit, and that'll look much better on a door because we'll have this part of it covered up. All right, now we can go back to we'll name this one jaw real quick. Okay, yeah, perfect. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and add actually I don't think I will add anything. We'll just leave it just like that, and we'll just put them on the door just like that. I think all we'll do is just put a little pad in behind it for the door knocker. So let's add a cylinder, will be fine. Turn on snapping, bring it down, and just kind of squeeze it. I can just go behind the jaw, like this. Use the jaw for the door knocker part. Okay, so we can see here, let's see, let's take care of this first. This we're going to subdivide, validate it. I'll squeeze it in a little more because it just needs to be a plate, and that'll work. All right, so this, you can see there, it's like stuck in the jaw, and I kind of want it out, so let's just increase the size and just move that out, which is fine. Since we're not going for realism, we're just going for a door slapper. Kind of do whatever we want to. All right, so that's the basics of it. I'm gonna put a patina on all this. I think this one we'll just do brass. Be good. I'm gonna rough it up a little bit though, maybe. Paint that. And then this one, I actually will use stamp. And I think that one will be pretty good alpha. Actually, we might do something like this, give it a little marbled look. And if you guys need to see that, I'll have, you can watch the last video. It was really good about this, showing you how to do all your different patinas on the axe. Go look up the axe video. And I just want to give, so this one I'm going to do a little bit of an underpainting first. And you can see it's going to take a second because there's so much going on. As far as how your stamp is going to go on there, and I'm not too worried about it being perfect just this second, because we're going to put another one over the top, but I want to do a little bit of a marbled thing on it first, and then I'm going to put the, see, it kind of gives it a little bit of texture at the same time, I'm getting a little color, and then I'm going to just paint it all like a bronze color. So if you go to white, it'll pull up this texture with this alpha as well. And we need to turn up the paint because the paint intensity is way low. So now it'll give us that nice bronzy patina. And I don't want it quite that shiny, so I think what we'll do is bring the metalness down, roughen this up a little bit. Right in there, let's try that. That looks better. Okay. Yeah, kind of like that. Okay, that's better. So now I'm just going to go and clean this up a little. And you can do the whole thing and then just go back to the front and hit it one more time. Because this thing has so much shape, trying to pull your stamp on it, you really, sometimes you just have to pull your stamp all the way over it and then go to the view that you're going to see the most and just clean up the last little bit. Now, it will also help if on your alpha you have this feathered off on the fall off. That will help a lot to make this look right. So you can blend them in to each other and there's not hard lines everywhere. So that's good. So like there's a little bit of a hard line there, but if we just give that just a little bit, you don't have another hard line. It's just a hard line because you're pulling it so big at once. The back's not going to matter too much because it'll be in the door. That's good. All right, so the last thing I want to do is put a pen for the jaw and color the teeth. So all right, and I'm not going to worry about the back side of that, of the plate right there. Doesn't matter. All right, now what we'll do is grab a, let's see, we'll put this as plate just so we know what's what. Add a cylinder. Got snapping on. Snap it. Oops, not that one. This one. All right, I'm going to turn off edit node so I can grab that easier. Now, you guys will notice this. This is still a bug. You have to hit your pivot and hit reset, and you go back to center. It just does that right now. So hopefully you get that fixed soon. But if you guys do notice that, that's all you have to do to fix that. See, every time you stretch it, a lot of times, so you'll end up doing this a bunch. And you guys have probably already seen this if you guys have been watching my other videos and already kind of know about it, but in case you don't, just click and reset. luckily it's at least an easy fix, but I think they just wanted to get the version out because they've been promising it for a while on the forums. So I think they were just ready to get it out there to everybody. So we'll have to deal with a little bit of growing pains. And yeah, see, it just moved it again, but at this point it's not going to matter too much. Okay, about right there. And I'm going to go ahead and subdivide it, validate it. We're going to go up here and paint it. And for this one, I actually want to do, I think maybe a bright copper. That way there's some difference in it, because I'll do the teeth copper and it'll look really good. All right, so let's add another sphere of some kind. Bring it over, shrink it down. Just going to put the ball ends on it basically. So this one, so divide, validate. We're going to go and paint it. That way we don't have to paint it twice. Clone it. Send it over. That looks good. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'll mask the teeth on each of these and paint them, and I will be back in a minute. All right, so I'll do the same thing on the skull. What we're going to do is just tap on the outside, flip the mask, and we will come up here and grab the paint and just hit paint all and copper teeth. So I'll do the same thing on the skull, and just to clear the mask, just drag out here and it'll clear it for you. All right, so I'll be back in just a second. All right, I'm back. Got the teeth and we got the jawline on there. Looks good. All right, so the next thing, let's see, let's clear the mask. And I'm just gonna do the paint back in there again, just real light. Just a real, that color, maybe with a little bit more green or something, just to kind of give the effect of a little bit more patina on this guy. So let's see, let's go to paint and just do paint this time. And we're gonna do, I'm gonna do grab dynamic radius, and it's almost kind of like an airbrush when you do it this way. And we'll do, I don't know, probably this one for the fall off. And we need to change the color to a black, or maybe, you know what, I have this teal in here. Try this one. No, oh, and I need to change that off because this, so I have this tiled, so turn the tile on. That's just what I have set right now. And it has the alpha. I might leave that alpha. Might be all right. And let's see how that looks. Yeah, just want to give it a little bit more definition. So if you come in here and give it a few times, it'll darken the eyes up for you. Oops, not quite that much. And I need to change the scale on this. So the scaling all the way up, because you see it has those hard lines on the side, because I need to increase the size so it'll do a round edge for me, because it had those kind of hard edges. That's not really getting quite dark enough. So we'll do a little bit like this, and then I'm gonna hit it with just some real light black, I think. Come back in here, and we can turn this texture, or the texture's not on because of that. Try that. Black, or just a dark green maybe. There we go. Bring the intensity, I want to bring the intensity way down, and just, yeah, that's better. That's what we're looking for. A little bit more color. Now you can mask this, and it might be a little bit easier, but that's okay. Just gonna kind of pull it in the corners a little bit. Now, depending on how much shine you want, you could knock the shine back a little, and that might help actually with the eyes and mouth. So I'll come in here, bring the roughness up, and then do this, and that'll do even more. Kind of push those back a little so they're not all the same. And I think I'm gonna call that good. All right, if you guys are enjoying these tutorials, please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. All right, thanks.